Hello students, this is the classwork help video for your factoring polynomials lesson 223. We just want to show you this first. When you click on the link, you should go to a page that looks like this, and you'll choose your name from the drop-down list. I'm the test student, and then it's going to go ahead and start you on the classwork. There is a clock over here for when you start, but don't worry about it. It's not timed, so you don't have to worry about that. It will tell you if you're getting them right or wrong. You cannot, I don't think you can go back. I know you can't go back and change an answer, so be really careful before you answer these. This does count as a classwork grade, and the grade that you received is going to be your classwork grade, so be careful. I'm going to work the first 5 for you, and let me make sure that's, yeah, so that is the first one. So I'm going to work the first 5, and you don't even have to write what I write. I'm just going to work them for you in case you need help with this. If you don't need help, you don't even have to watch this video. You just go ahead and do the assignment. So this first one is a problem where you have a coefficient, your a value, which is the 5, is greater than 1. And if a is greater than 1, you have to use those grouping. You have to rewrite it, split the middle term, and group, and all that. And so it's a little more involved than just the ones that are 1. Let me rewrite this, and if you remember, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this term right here into 2 terms. So I'm going to be rewriting the whole thing, and then the middle term is going to be split into 2 terms that add up to the middle term. We have to figure out what these 2 terms are, and here's how we do that. We multiply the 5 times the 4, or the leading coefficient, the a, times this last number times our constant. I hate this thing. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, so we take that 20, and then we find a factor pair for 20 that adds up to 9. And obviously that's going to be 4 times 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. And these are the numbers that we're going to put here with x. So plus positive 4x and positive 5x add up to 9x. So that's the first part. We did what we call split the middle term. Okay. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to group these into 2 binomials with that. We can leave that plus in between them. And then we take the greatest common factor from each set of parentheses. So 5x squared plus 4x, you can take out an x here. And then when you do that, you have 5x plus 4 left over. So what we did was the opposite of distributive property. If we had this problem and it said use distributive property, you would multiply the x in, distribute the x in. What we did was we took the x out. Instead of distributing it in, we took it out. And then over here, we don't have any common factor between 5 and 4. There's no x over here or anything. So, but you can always pull out a 1, okay? And then you have 5x plus 4 still in parentheses. What you're looking for is this number the same as this number? And if it is, if that binomial is the same, then you did it right. And you take this and you make that your first factor. And then your second factor, once you've done that, that's done, is what's left over on the outside of the parentheses. So this is our answer right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to just put, 5x plus 4 here, and then x plus 1, and click OK. All right, the next one is just a distributive property problem, and it's actually already partially done for you. They already pulled out the -6, and so then what you would do is you divide each of these by the -6, and that's what's in parentheses. Again, opposite of distributive property. So -6x divided by 6 is x, and 24 divided by -6 is -4. Oh, excuse me. It's my bedtime. All right, the next one is factoring a trinomial or quadratic again, but it has a 1 as the a value. So the a value is 1. So if a equals 1, it's a lot easier to do these. One way you can do it is go put it on Desmos and look for the roots, but for me it's pretty easy to do these. So we look at the 12, because you're still doing the 1 times the 12, but you look at the 12 and the 7 and you look for a factor pair for 12. In other words, what times what equals 12, that also when you add those together equals 7. So it's 3 and 4. It's positive 3 and positive 4. So it's x plus 3. If it was negative 3, you put x minus 3. X plus 3, x plus 4. And that's it. All right, this one is also one where you've got your a value is greater than 1. So the a is 10. Constant is negative 4. So we multiply the 10 times negative 4 to get negative 40. Remember, we're going to be rewriting this thing. And we are going to have, we don't know yet whether we're going to have a plus and a minus or a minus and a plus or whatever. So let's just leave that like that. So we're going to be splitting this negative 3x into two different terms. All right, negative 40, and I need something that when I combine, and when I say combine, I mean it could be a positive and a negative number. It could be two positive, two negatives. So to get negative 40, though, you got to have a positive and a negative. So let's see, it could be, it can't be negative 1 times 40. Negative 2 times 20, no. Negative 4 times 10, that won't work. What about negative 8 times 5? Yep, negative 8 times 5 is going to be the pair of numbers, because negative 8 plus 5 equals negative 3. So when I put that over here, I will put minus, get a different color, minus 8x, which is this part of it, plus 5x, like that. And then we want to group them with parentheses. Okay, the greatest common factor between 10x squared and 8x, well, between 10 and 8 it's 2, and then x squared and x is going to be x. It's always going to be an x over here, by the way. And that leaves x minus, I'm sorry, 5x minus 4. And then over here, it's just going to be a plus 1 again. Okay, so this matches this, so we did it right. If it doesn't, you did something wrong. So my first factor is 5x minus 4, and the second factor is 2x plus 1. So you just put that in there. And is that 5? Nope, got one more. Okay, so this one, the a value is 1, so it's a lot easier. Factor pair for negative 5, that when I combine it, it equals 4. Well, 5 times negative 1 equals negative 5, and 5 plus negative 1 or minus 1 equals 4. So in this parentheses, I would have x plus 5, which is this part, and in this parentheses, I would have x minus 1, which is this part. I think that's it. Okay, so you're on your own for the rest of it, and it will tell you if you're getting them right or wrong. So if you get one wrong, you might want to go back and look at it and see what you did wrong, or maybe come back to the video and watch another one. But I did one of each type of problem, I think. I take that back. There's a difference of 2 squares on there. I don't know how many of these there are, but x squared and 25 are both what we call perfect squares. Something times itself equals each of these. X squared is x times x, and 25 is 5 times 5. So these are perfect squares, and when you have one where you've got a subtraction in the middle of it, this is called difference of squares. And the way you do this is it's two binomials. You've got an x in both of them. You've got a 5 in both of them. So the square root of each one of those, one of them has a plus and one of them has a minus. All right, so now you've got 6 of them done for you. So you're on your own for the rest of them.